Okay, I have 6:12 PM on Tuesday, June 27th, and calling the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Roll call.
James Howard. Joe Mullinex.
Yes.
Dave Moon.
Here.
Brent Wedding.
Here.
Mike Wilson.
Not here. No old business. Reading and approving of the minutes.
Make a motion, we dispense with reading and approving of the minutes.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. No old business. New business. Variance for parcel commonly known as 234 East 6th Street for a 6-foot fence that covers the front of the property. Is this you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Come on up.
Hello.
Hi. State your name.
David McDonald.
Nice to meet you. What's up?
I was just trying to, I should have checked the city ordinance before I had the fence built by Brewer Construction. Now just trying to get it approved. It helps with my PTSD. I was medevaced out of Iraq after my 3rd tour. Recently just moved to Peru from the East Coast from West Virginia. Just hoping the fence gets approved. That's about it. Just short and sweet.
Okay.
How long have you been in Peru?
I moved here April 18th, closed on the house April 22nd, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to make improvements to the house. The house was a rental house, and I've already dropped thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just trying to improve the house and get it to the standards I'm used to.
I've been by it. It looks good. When did you put the fence up?
It was roughly done, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks. It's everything in the past 2 months.
It looks fairly new. So.
Yes. Everything's a blur right now because I've only been here for 2 months.
Right.
It went up right around May 31st, June 1st, because I took pictures right there when.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember seeing
after it went up.
go up,
Yeah.
not knowing that we'd be meeting you.
Yes. I wish it was under better circumstances.
No, you're fine.
Not a big deal.
Okay, any questions for him?
This is just more of an investigative question for
Yes.
me. When you contacted, was it Brewer Construction?
Yes.
They didn't say anything about checking for.
No, he said it used to, I guess the law changed a year ago, he said. I'm not familiar. Like I said, I've only been here for like 2 months.
The ordinance is, the 4-foot fence ordinance has been in.
For a long time.
Okay. Then I don't want to speak on his behalf
No,
because he's
no,
not
no.
here to defend himself, so I'm not that type of person.
And I'm not trying to throw stones at anybody.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus.
Shocked that
He
they
does
didn't-
beautiful work.
They didn't
He's
ask.
done a lot of custom work inside of the house and outside of the house. The last thing I want to do is throw my contractor under the bus.
Yeah.
This kind of thing happens. This isn't the first time we've run into this.
Okay.
Just a couple years ago, we had the lady down on Main Street,
Yep.
and she did have to cut down her fence.
Okay.
The other issue that we have is that since you've put your fence up, actually, we've had 2 more requests for 6-foot fences in the front yard,
Okay.
and this is going to end up being a can of worms.
Yes.
So,
I do like that the front of your house is still open and visible, and you're planning on keeping that open.
Yes, there's an 8-foot byway there for if EMTs need to get there, fire department, police. I made sure there was a big enough opening to where they can fit a gurney or do whatever they need to have access to the house.
So I'm not aware of the other 2 requests that are coming, but are they Main Street? I know when we talked with the lady.
no, these aren't on Main Street.
Okay. Because I know when we talked with the lady, one of the discussions was that it was Main Street. It wasn't a side street.
Right, but in fact, and we've looked into this, that's a state statute actually, too.
Mhm.
And checked with Kokomo, Logansport, even Bunker Hill. It's still.
I also checked all the way up north. I checked Valparaiso. I checked up by Notre Dame. I checked down south, and everybody's following the state statute of 4 feet in front of the house.
I mean,
I couldn't find
My
anybody.
only concern is opening up a can of worms here.
Right.
Because you guys, we've been here a while, and it happens quick.
Yeah, and there's been 2 that have come in the last 2 weeks that are.
It's a
"Oh,
domino
his-
effect."
His fence is up there, can I do this too? It was like, ooh, no. See, so,
Would he fall within it if he wrapped from the sidewalk here, wrapped it back to the house, and then knocked this one down the floor?
I mean, that would be completely up to him. Would that?
Right, but I'm saying, would that fit
Well,
our ordinance?
Yeah. Yes,
Because the side
But
could be
when you-
6, correct?
yes.
it has to be 8, so according to our ordinance, if it's not up against the side of the house, it has to be 8 feet from the side of the house before it can come to the front yard. So he'd have to go from the side of the house out 8 feet, bring the fence down to the front yard, and then he could do the rest of that at his 6-foot discretion. And then the other side would have to be 4 foot,
Which
So
would be,
the way our ordinance is written.
So the whole front of the house would have to be 4 feet, just not that one little tiny section, it would be
you could
the,
run that section back and then over to kind of fence that area in. But,
Okay.
and I'll tell you what, that's not going to be cheap.
no. I'll probably just have him, he already said he's gonna do it for free. If the vote comes to where it has to be 4 feet, he's gonna have to fix it.
I would just feel extremely hypocritical after having that lady cut hers down and all of that by, if you can understand my point here.
Yes, I do.
Okay, any other discussion?
And I'll just say, we're going to see another one of these probably next month.
Yeah.
How many of them are gonna come with this?
Go to Norm's, dude.
So you've already talked to Brewer Construction, and they're going to help you remedy whatever needs done.
If it needs to be done, it needs to be done. My hands are tied on this.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
And the question would be, is where the cement is, my land goes up higher. As you can see in the pictures, there's steps. Is that 4 feet, is that off of the cement, or is that gonna be off of my land?
Let me,
Because I don't want all of a sudden.
right. Yeah. I'm,
Be back here in 2 months, or next month.
Isn't it just the height of the fence?
you have to see what he's saying is it 4 feet from here? Or
Right.
4 feet from,
Right.
and I would say 4 feet from here is fine.
That's what I
That's
was
my
thinking,
thought.
the actual fence, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the question is, because that fence isn't actually parallel to my land. It's actually lower than the land because I had the retaining wall that was there was crumbling. So one of the reasons I did the fence is also to fix the retaining wall because that retaining wall was terrible.
It's from where that base part is there, where the fence is built directly on it. That's the height of there. Because
Okay.
your yard kind of slopes up, so.
Okay. So it'll go off of where the last board is? Or can you show me, can I walk up there and see the picture?
Absolutely,
Okay, I just want to
absolutely,
make
yeah.
sure before I walk up there.
No.
You're good.
Yeah.
This is a really small, weird town, and
Yes.
we don't, yeah.
Because
So from right here,
it would have to be 4 feet.
from here to here would have to be 4 feet.
Okay, because the land is actually farther up. Where my grass is probably another 6 inches up past where that fence was. That fence is lower.
So
to
you're
help-
saying that it's at the second step?
Yes, you can actually see where the stone is right there, where the
Yeah.
retaining wall is. That's where my yard is, where the grass is. And like I said, there's probably a good, I want to say 6 inches, I didn't measure it, it's probably 4 to 6 inches above where that starts, where my property, where the height of my property is.
I should have peeked inside, but I didn't want to.
Well,
Let me see, do you mind if I turn on my cell phone? I turned it off, I might have pictures on my cell phone.
well, yeah, you can turn your cell phone on.
Okay.
I see what he's saying now.
Yeah, it definitely has a slope to it.
And I generally go from where the yard's at, so.
Yeah.
Well, and it,
Yeah, at least I'm still.
It's just a matter of if you could do it from the yard. I mean, if it's got to be 4 feet, can somebody do it in their yard where the land starts to get that 4 feet height? Would we
Right.
tell them no for that? Or
So
would we
go
tell them they
4
have to
feet
pull
from
it
here
down
or
to the
4 feet
sidewalk?
I think is the question, right?
I'm saying here. Because that's where it's going to be, because we're talking a couple of inches.
Right.
But there are people in this town that are paying for it, so.
And I'm not trying to be one.
No, no, no.
I'm definitely not trying to be one. I'm
I'm
trying to
just
get my house.
Trying to think if I've seen anybody who's like put a fence over a retaining wall where it would be level with their yard versus with the sidewalk, from driving around lately, and I don't know that we have a precedence for that.
Not in the front yard, no. That I can think of.
Sorry, it's just taking a second to load.
Yep, no problem.
And there's Mike.
Oh.
We're up.
What's that?
I said we're up. I thought we would still be doing the planning meeting.
Nope,
No, that one took
that
2
was
minutes.
very quick.
Oh,
I already went out, I thought you,
We
I
even
saw you in
searched
the
for
lobby,
you.
so we went out and looked for you and stuff, and,
I had to run back home. I just came in. I just got back from the service, so,
oh, good trip?
yes. Thank you, sorry. Take the part. Wow. Wow. So, I drove by and saw the site and everything, so
Okay.
familiar with the idea.
What we're discussing now is what he wants to know.
Here, you can actually,
This is where the fence is now.
you can
His
see,
yard is up just a little bit higher than this,
Yeah,
actually.
text messages.
He wants to know if he can measure
you
it
can
off the
see how
yard
the
or off.
retaining wall is actually
But how much
parallel.
higher is he
fence
than
goes
the code
lower.
requirement?
Right. Well, he's 6 foot now, he can only be 4 foot.
And I have, you
But
know.
that's right for front.
Front.
Yeah.
And
you
so,
can see the
so it'd be
difference
maybe
in
another,
it.
if he measures.
I,
from
I remember
where this-
reading, but can you refresh me on what the
where
actual
this
wording of the
is, where he
ordinance
wants to measure
is?
from.
It just says it cannot be higher than 4 feet in front of the house.
I mean,
There's,
it doesn't
it
say,
does
like,
not
from the
stipulate
ground
from
or-
the sidewalk,
okay.
or it just says it cannot be higher
The only
than
thing
4
that says
feet.
on the sidewalk is you have to
Who's
have like
the
6
individual
inches
that-
from
Yes.
the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and I have the spacer
This
there
is
that
here, I
is
see.
6 inches.
Yep.
Gives me
Yeah,
more
everything else there was
construction
perfect. It was just the height there, but,
Yeah.
you know, like, in my yard, my house is up 3-4 feet.
very simple.
So, you know,
Something like that.
is my retaining wall my fence, or can I actually put up a fence so my dogs can be out in the front yard, you know?
Right.
And if he were to have a dog and it was completely fenced in and he lost that 6 inches, that could allow
Let me ask this.
Yeah.
an animal to jump over or something like that, you know? So that's kind of
But my point is.
what we're looking at.
Well, over 6
Don't worry about
inches.
the front yard.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
Just so you can see the fence goes below the retaining wall that I fixed or had replaced because that retaining wall on its
Right.
last leg.
we're only talking a couple of inches here,
Yes.
but to tell you the truth, to be on the safe side, I would keep it at the retaining, where the board is.
Then I have a question, and I
Okay.
know I'm
I would-
splitting hairs.
No, that's okay, I would keep it at this level here, and then there's no ambiguity or anything like that, we're only talking a few.
But what if they trim this to where it hits the retaining wall then? Because then the fence starts where the retaining wall ends.
Right. And that's,
I'm just gonna show you what other people are gonna do. I'm playing devil's advocate here, not trying to be a pain. I'm trying to
No, I
protect
understand.
you from, this is going to occur again, and I'd rather this be finalized now. And
because you could
everything
go
is
through
set
and
up.
trim off the bottom and make the fence
Because
into
if
the
I still
retaining
had-
wall and then,
Because if I had the cement still there, I could build a fence on that cement. And then it wouldn't be based off of where the sidewalk is, it would be based off of where my property height is.
and there's another fence in your neighborhood that.
Yes.
I believe it's a side yard, but it's,
It is, but it cuts back and then goes over to the house,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is with, and especially with there's a gate there between the house and the.
Oh, I know,
So-
I'm just saying, there's another one that's, you know,
is the requirement from sidewalk? What's the official?
The ordinance does not state, it just says 4 feet high in front of the house, but it does
Oh,
not
I
state
see.
from
In
the
that
sidewalk.
case, then, yeah, from his retaining wall.
Generally, in the past, it's been 4 feet wrapped off the side of the house. for the front and then can go up as it goes around.
Yeah, because
It
you,
goes around.
But I mean,
And I think
you know,
mine's a special case because I had to take that retaining wall out.
Right.
And had to do a new retaining wall, and to support the retaining wall, I had the fence go a little bit better just to give it more support. So in 20 years, I don't have to replace a retaining wall again. I don't ever, when I pass away and the next person buys that house, that retaining wall should still be there and
That-
still be good.
Yeah, the
And
old
that's-
retaining wall's been in bad shape for the last 50 years,
Yes,
because I grew up in that neighborhood.
yes. And that's, as you see, I'm trying to make everything better in that house.
Now,
I personally feel if there's no clear definition of where you can start from, top of retaining wall is fine. So,
Yeah, but he wants to go above that.
well, top of retaining wall and then 4 feet. you're
Okay,
measuring
that the
from
4
that-
feet starts at the retaining wall.
At the retaining wall.
That's what I'm
Okay.
thinking.
If it's not real clear, that's adequate.
And I'm fine with that the 4 feet starts from the top of the
The
retaining wall.
retaining wall, yeah.
And I'm not gonna do anything stupid and make the retaining wall taller.
just remember, I've already measured.
I know, nothing's gonna get changed, I'm not that.
Okay, any other questions and stuff?
I don't think so.
Well, then basically, you will be within code, so there's no special exception to be granted, so,
Just have,
once you cut it off at 4 feet,
Right.
you'll match code and it'll be fine.
okay.
you see, what you were asking for is us to give you a variance.
And
And seeing that we aren't giving you a variance because you are going to put it down to the 4
I was
feet.
hoping not to.
Well,
Right, but-
I know.
But
So
that's
I'll
why,
have to cut this side too.
Yeah.
This right here will have to be 4 feet all the way to the edge of this.
He can stair step it, can't he?
Well, and that would be up to you. Just, how, it's 8
8
feet
feet.
back?
8 feet.
So
So-
from the corner of your house,
So you went from, if you measured out here from the corner of your house and you went 8 feet back, then you could leave it up
Okay,
at
so
6 feet.
I could just slope
It's
it
just-
down
Yes.
or
Yeah,
You can
it's just
stair step
the
it.
right-
I can stair step it, okay.
Yes.
And then this other part, the little tiny section that's probably 8 feet long or 10 feet long, whatever it is, that just has to be straight 4 feet.
Right.
That's.
Because you have to go 8 feet from your house. If you go east of town,
Yes.
on the south side of Main Street, you'll see a house that had to do
The
that.
step fence.
Yeah, and they stepped their fence. It's very obvious, it's past East End, just keep going a little bit, you'll see a stair
I'll
step
tell
fence.
Brewer to do it, and any time limit on having to get this fixed?
Tomorrow.
No, he's not kidding. It does have to be done within 24 hours of the meeting.
Oh, does it? Okay.
No. He was going for it, though.
pretty much.
We had,
I couldn't back off on it.
You
had a good
poker.
yeah, just
I think
work
it's
with
a bad
Jennifer,
code.
it won't be a big deal.
Here, I will give Jason a call or construction a call and
But I
let
think
him
the
know.
conclusion-
the
Yeah,
verdict.
and if you guys want me to come down and just kind of look at and go over while you're,
No, I know 8 feet
marking
from the
side of the
you have to
house.
step
Which is-
down.
Yeah, which is,
Is-
there's
so
there's
be
no
a
special
casual
exception, but
step down?
it's got admittance.
I mean, it has to be,
so the 4 feet has to be at the 8-foot mark.
That's what-
So you're gonna go 4 feet to the 8-foot mark, and then however you want to make it get up to your 6 foot.
You want
so
it to be a
so
sudden
little bit
jump,
full,
you
okay,
can-
gotcha.
Yep, so
But-
until you get to that 8-foot mark from the corner of your house, it needs to be
it's
at
however
exactly
you want it
4
to look.
feet.
Some people
But-
stair step it, you know,
Gotcha.
so it's not a 2 foot,
But that 8 feet has to be forward.
yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
After that, however you get to the 6 foot is up to you.
okay.
Just
I'll let
make it
him
look-
decide.
Okay, anything else, guys?
No?
Nope,
Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
There we go.
All right.
Another one taken care of.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank